Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers Season 3. As today, we open up with a big Raider welcome to McLouge, our very first Houndmaster, who has, at least for the time being, taken custody of Warrior. I am curious to see if his special ability actually applies, considering the normal limitations to the Anato-Missed warbands. Though really, we mainly wanted a Houndmaster on hand to tilt all of the various dog-related events in our favor. Otherwise, they can get pretty gross and depressing pretty quick. Stat-wise, nothing all that special. He's more of a utility bro than a dedicated attacker, but star placement might make him a good tertiary backup banner man. But we'll see how his first few level ups go. That said, let's get back to it. And I think our goal today is to ultimately get ourselves down south. I completely neglected our current ambition last time around. We have to do 5 city-state contracts, and thus far we have done 0, so we should probably get started on that, especially before the day 40 difficulty bump. So we're headed to Wallen, then we'll go counterclockwise from there to Hikma. Though, as an added bonus, I believe there was a decent-looking hunter up for grabs in Wallen, so we might see if we can swing that. Otherwise, we'll save the money for a blacksmith. But, you know, as usual, we'll just play things by ear. Take them one at a time. The RNG can be cruel. Oof. Okay, well, tough times for Wallen, it would seem. Abducted children and drought. Also, our provisions tanked as soon as we left Thunberg. Right, I guess a bunch of that meat we got off the direwolves must have gone bad. Alright, well, Hunter I had pinged is no longer available, which I suppose is just as well, since now we need to actually restock on rations. Though doing that here isn't ideal because all of the food prices are probably jacked up given the drought. Oof, yeah. We'll take some arrows, though. Man, so abducted children with a 1 skull? That's an interesting mix. You find Walram of Wallen with a scapula around his neck, though its ordinary thaumaturgical arrangements have been replaced with garlic and onions. He has tears in his eyes. Oh, Sellsword, I'm glad to see you. Please sit. Ducking under herb-heavy streamers, you come and sit before the man. Your eyes slim and begin to water. He continues. Look, this is going to make me sound like the biggest goddamn fool you've ever come by, but listen. Many years ago, my firstborn, Leaf, came into this world clothed in illness. Desperate, I sought the aid of witches. You hold up your hand. You ask him if he made a pact, and if they're here to collect on the dead. The man nods. Aye, 18 years is what they promised, and tonight is his 18th upon the earth. This is no simple task, Sellsword. These women are dangerous beyond any steel's proper reckoning. And I wager they'll be all the more hellish once they learn I refuse to pay. Are you sure you wish to help me protect my child? Wiping your eyes, you weigh the options. Oof, hexes. Man, from what I recall, those things are bad news, though a 1 skull, I mean, that, if we're going to take one down, this would be the time to do it. What's the pay? $750. Yeah, I mean, decent payday and new potion. Seems like a no-brainer, but, you know, I say that now, before the final body count. That means we're waiting around a bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on our current food stores, lest we start starving. And we'll tag Annie back in. Can't risk going into a Hex fight with a level 1 bro. Yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, Hex are pretty squishy themselves. They're basically casters like necromancers. But they can mind control or hex your allies and force you to basically hurt your own. They also tend to roll with bodyguards. At one skull, I'm assuming it'll just be enthralled bandits, but there is the chance it might be something more monstrous. Setris comes up to you. He's augering his ear with a pinky. Hey there, Captain. You seen any of them saucy broads yet? Hearing this, Kingsrook the Sergeant comes over. He leans in. Yes, I have heard that the hexes are quite attractive. But that is exactly how they lure in their prey. They draw them in with their false charms and glamours, and then devour their soul. Laughing, Setris swipes the wax on Kingsrook's garb. We'll have to go to Oberberg to get my soul, then, because another woman done beat them to the punch. Alright guys, let's maybe try to stay focused here. And here we go. A woman is spotted approaching the company. The sellswords are ensorcelled by her beauty. But you know better. You draw your sword and clang it loud enough to draw the ire of this supposed lady. She sneers and her lips snap back with a grin that goes from nearly ear to ear. Her skin tightens until it creases and turns a pale gray. She laughs and laughs as her hair falls out. The witch points a finger at you. Ah, I smell your ancestry, sellsword. But it matters not where you come from. The pact must be paid by the firstborn's blood, and anyone who stands in our way will bleed in kind. The company falls into formation, and you tell Leaf to keep his head down. Well, this just got interesting. She brought a cave troll. I mean, on the bright side, not a lot of blockers to keep us from getting to her, but man, fighting this thing is going to hurt. As the raiders advance, a sudden, rumbling roar sounds from somewhere nearby. A beast the size of a small building looms into view. Its malevolent mistress cackles as she points it towards the raiders. Without a word, Trip breaks off to the right, dagger clutched firmly in hand, whilst Leaf falls back and cowers in some nearby brush. Arrow eases forward, trying to get eyes on the threat. A quick shot puts them on warning, but fails to find its mark. Undaunted, the witch takes a step forward. Foul magics worm their way into Annie's grief-sodden soul, and she turns, flail whirling, but sights set on her fellow raiders. What are you doing, you daft fool? Get away from me! Drakiith growls, a well-placed kick sending Annie reeling. It's the Hex, Valin quickly shouts. Keep me covered. I'll take care of this. Yes, well, that might be a bit of an issue, Eerie shouts after the erstwhile beast slayer. I am ever so slightly preoccupied. The fuck did I sign myself up for? Setris mutters under his breath. Warily advancing in the opposite direction, shield held high. And one by one, the rest of the raiders advance, ready to back Valin's play. Just sit tight, lad. My boys will take care of this. You say to Leaf, as he cowers in the shrubbery. The Hex sets her sights on another target, but Rook scoffs. You will have to look elsewhere, tempestuous temptress. I have long since hardened my mind to such feeble tricks. The witch scowls and falls back behind her brutish bodyguard once more. It shrugs off Alan's axes, and then lunges into the fray. Yeah, screw that, Cedrus utters, giving the fight a wide berth, whilst the rest of the raiders engage, hacking, slashing, and bashing at the thing from multiple sides. Meanwhile, towards the back, a swing of Erie's shield sends Annie reeling, dropping them to one knee. "Sorry, my friend, I am needed elsewhere," he says. "Perhaps it's best you sit this one out." Annie quickly regains their feet, but she stumbles and pauses, shaking her head drunkenly. What just... And Bowman looses an arrow, the shot arcing high over the Unhold and sinking deep into the howling Hex's chest. Trip and Cetrus continue their roundabout approach, whilst the rest of the raiders keep the Unhold contained. A flash of Cetrus's blade, the edge biting deep, bone exposed in her frail arm. But then her eyes flash. Cetrus blinks. A profuse torrent of apologies tumble from his lips. "You weak-minded fool," Rook shouts. "She's ensorcelled another." The Hex glowers at him, an unnatural chill falling heavy on his shoulders. Undeterred, Rev still runs her through. Off to the side, Rook chokes and gasps, clutching his own chest as well as blood vomits from his mouth. But the main threat is past. Now only the Unhold remains. Confused and confounded as it is, coupled with its own innate clumsiness, it quickly falls. Wow, aside from the horrific wound on Rook, that actually wasn't that bad. There were about a million ways it could have definitely gone worse. But I think we made the right call there, taking down the Hex despite the Hex. Would have been nice to roll better on the loot drops, but at least we got new brews. Starting with Fool's Treasure Potion. Ignore the name. This potion will grant near immortality to whomever drinks it. That's right. Just like the dreaded Unhold, any lucky enough to consume this will have their wounds close mere moments after opening. Take it. Quickly. Don't think. Act. Regens 10 health per round. Pretty solid get for any frontliner. And the Potion of Malevolence. The label on this bottle reads, "Danger. Further research required before consumption." You're sure it's fine. Another fantastic get, but hard to say who should get it. Walrem of Wallen embraces Leaf, holding the firstborn tight. He looks at you. "So, it's done then? All the witches are dead?" You nod. The townsman nods back. Thank you, mercenary." He points you to a chest in the corner of the room. It's full of your payment. "Hey, happy to help. It's just what we do. Saving people, hunting things. The family business." Let's go ahead and pull Rook out. He's going to need some time in recovery. And we picked up 2 fantastic new potions, which honestly are probably best paired with each other. One which reflects all damage suffered, the other replenishing health afterwards. Which probably best fits a character like Annie, who has somewhat middling defense. Or random, but we already gave random a potion, and the thing is, the more potions you stack, the longer it takes them to recover from the ensuing alchemical sickness. Oh man, yeah, let's load up on arrows while we're here. Maybe Drakiith? Though, I mean, thematically, giving Drakiith the bleeding resistance potion probably makes more sense since he is a flagellant. And yeah, I guess we'll take the grains. I mean, I hate paying double market rate, but we need food. That said, we push on. Sight set on Hikmah. Though hopefully we'll hit a target of opportunity along the way. Land of the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. And Hikmah. Currently under threat by bandits, so I'm guessing that's what our 3 skull contract is. But with seasonal fare, so theoretically better prices. Except for crafting goods. Ooh, no, scratch that. Prices are awful. My goodness, yeah. Gosh. How about sell prices? Can we get... Well, we don't really have anything to sell, so I mean... Not much we can do here until we clear up those trade routes. Lots of peddlers. Ooh, an assassin. We'll put a pin in the peddlers and the assassin. I'll get a proper gander at them once we've got more gold. Speaking of which, we've also got our arena. Dare we risk it? I think we do. Dozens of men mingle about the arena's entrance. Some stand stoically, not wishing to give any hint of their capabilities. Others, however, boast and brag with aplomb, either sincerely confident in their martial skills, or hoping their bravado masks any holes in their game. A grizzled man, the master of the arena, holds up a scroll and taps it with a hook for a hand. Your opponents will be 2 recently retired desert bandits. And by retired, I mean taken by the Vizier's lawmen, of course. No bandit willingly steps foot in here. Ha ha ha! He points to some strange-looking collars and continues. When you're ready, put these on the 3 men who will be doing the fighting. This lets us know who to take into the pits. Anyone not wearing these will not be allowed in. Not you, not the Vizier. Dare I say, even the Gilder may be turned down. 2 nomads. Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I'm assuming full-on outlaws as opposed to cutthroats given the payday, but yeah, I think we've got that. Let me just figure who's actually going in. We'll need a tank, so I think that's Eerie. And Val for DPS. And then someone who needs morale. That's your biggest get from arena fights. Aside from the cash, of course. Finishing multiple battles will eventually start granting permanent upgrades to resolve. You know what? What the heck? Let's go Annie. I mean, they simply refuse to die, so might as well take advantage. The crowd booms as the RetconRaider's men stride into its bloody pit. Despite the mindless bloodlust of the peoples, you can't help but feel a beat of pride in your chest, knowing that it is your company, ready to put on a show. To those who are about to die, etc., etc. Oh wow, yeah, we lucked out on this. It is Outlaws, but only one has a shield and they both have low-tier bludgeons. Faced with a pair of woefully underarmed brigands, the raiders confidently advance. The nomads quickly adapt, focusing their ire on the weaker of the two targets, Annie. Eerie shoves back the enemy shieldman, turning his attention towards the other unshielded foe. Another axe from Valen bites deep, cleaving open the unfortunate nomad's side. And Annie swiftly puts him down. Gilded shield held high. The other brigand grimly sets himself to fight to the gruesome end. A fate which the raiders are more than happy to deliver. An axe glances off his shoulder. A flail clubs his side. An eerie spear finds a telling mark, piercing his hand, his weapon hanging from limp fingers. He turns to run, but swiftly falls, a javelin jutting from his spine. Nicely done, Raiders. Yeah, the arena can be a bit of a death trap, but this one went pretty smoothly. The arena master talks as if he doesn't even remember your face. Then again, he probably doesn't. Here's your pay. Please come again. The arena will be closed for the day, but you could return as early as tomorrow. Well, maybe we will. I mean, if we're going to bank time in the arena, this would be the time to do it, before day 40. I believe on day 40, almost every enemy in the world gets a stat bump. So we've only got 5 days left to bank some potential resolve buffs. Maybe we'll just bounce back and forth between Hikma and that other southern town. Though we could also just go camp busting. There are no horns, no confetti, no cheers. But there's still yet a certain level of pomp when you enter Musa al-Rundi, the Vizier of War's room. It is so decorated with golds and silvers, intricate jewelries made by genuine craftsmen, and a harem of nothing but the most attractive women, that one can't help but be spurred to do whatever is asked, if only to have a chance to partake in the seemingly day-to-day festivities. Musa al-Rundi, the Vizier of War, sits upon a pile of cushions. Ah, Crownling! I've been expecting you. Please come no closer, you will scare my attractions. I have a simple task for you. Nomads have been plundering my caravans hereat. I am with fewer coins in my coffers. I'm sure you understand what it is like to be deprived of in any manner, yes? Ah, you seem so dumb, so blank, so, well, involved with what you do. I need those nomads killed, and I'm willing to pay a princely sum to have it done. Does this language please whatever resides between those ears? Sure, but I'm gonna have to add a not stabbing you in the face surcharge. Yes, very well. An extra 100 gold, is that sufficient? Yeah, you know what it is. I'll take it. Might still stab you later. Okay, not too far. A belly dancer magnetizes Hikma's center plaza. Rhythmic movements on their own can coerce a beggar to donating a crown. But with the stage of the whole plaza, it is enough to draw crowds and, with it, heaps of gold. Masked by green silk, nearly see-through, and clothed in thin silks with the whole midriff exposed, the dancer is no doubt an expert in her field. She whirls, hips hypnotic, elbows bowed, hands clapping little cymbals, her feet tiptoeing as she spins a spot so tight there very well may be an invisible god above holding her in place as she razzles and dazzles. Someone throws an apple through the air, and the dancer spins around and shoots a tiny dagger through it, plugging it dead center and dropping the fruit to the ground. Another apple soars in, and this time a large saber is produced and slashes the stem off, and she catches the rest and takes a bite. The crowd claps gently to this. What's wrong with you people? That was an incredible display. Here, a crown. Well deserved. You take out a crown and flip it to the dancer. Her eyes catch the glint, but she doesn't break the dance. She drops her weapons and sachets over, cymbals clattering, hips gyrating, her knees hardly bending. Her feet almost mystically carry her across the ground. She gets near. The face is narrow, but the jaw broad, her temples deep. She grins. It's a man. She's a man. He claps the cymbals in your face, then swings around, briefly gracing your groin with his ass, and starts to dance back to the middle. He picks up your coin with a toe and flips it up, and it lands in a clay pot. The crowd cheers. I mean, I could do without the sexual overtones, but you gotta respect the hustle. That aside, there is a lot of overlap between dance and martial prowess. You know who it makes me immediately think of is the Archer Bard, Blumenek, for those familiar. Let's see if we can perhaps sway this one to our side. I'd be curious to see the stat spread. After the mannish belly dancer takes your crown, you wait around for the show to end. You approach as he picks up his things. He looks at you with a wry smile. Ah, an admirer. Sorry, only one show tonight, good stranger. You shake your head and ask if he knows anything about fighting. He nods. Of course I do. The Gilded One's gleam is upon us all, but not at all hours or days. Sometimes we must find our own way through the dark. I take it by your dress that you are a crownling, putting that blade of yours where it does and sometimes does not belong. You nod and ask him if he'd be interested in joining. He goes bow-legged and sinks to the ground like a collapsing truss. He counts his crowns. I'm not sure if you have a good eye for the wandering nature of men such as myself. Perhaps you saw a vocational tiredness not even I was aware of until this present moment. That said, you'll have to try harder to get me to go around killing for coin. I'm just saying, it seems a shame to squander all that talent hustling for tips. Join up with us and we can put it to better use, put you to better use. Make an actual difference in this world. Or at least die trying. Though if it is coin that drives you, there will be plenty of that as well. You assuage his ego by saying he's one of the best with a blade you've seen. The dancer turns his hands to the dust, his fingers sliding beneath each coin and flipping it into his clay pot. His left hand reaches across the ground, but as this catches your eye, his right hand snatches a blade that had been entirely buried beneath the sands. He holds it towards your crotch. I'm deadly with the blade, as I'm sure you are with that stinger there. Now, I know you are merely petting things which shall make me purr, preying upon my pride as the hunter does the lions. And I will say this. It has worked. I will fight for you, Captain of the Crownlings. And I will fight well. Nodding, you ask that he lower the blade. He spins it in his hand and sheathes it in one swift motion. He gets to his feet, stripping himself down until he's buck naked. This life I will leave behind in total, and to the Crownling's life I will be devoted in whole. You shake the man's hand. A passerby glances over and scratches his head. Wait a minute, you've a snake down there. I thought you were a lady of the dance, but this... He dabs his forehead with a cloth and lowers his voice. This makes it even better. The dancer looks at you and laughs. We've all dangers to confront in our respective vocations, Crownling, and I look forward to seeing yours. Right, well, welcome aboard. Maybe you should put some shorts on or something if you want to fight evil with us. Oh wow, look at that melee score. That is godlike for a first level character. Also loyal, dexterous. 2 stars on range. Slightly awkward, but it does open some possibilities. Alright, give me a sec. Let me go tap the raiders and then we'll get this guy set up. Be right back. And we're back with a big raider welcome to Tommy Two-Tone. As usual, a name recommended by one of the raiders or rank-and-file viewers. Though in this case, it is one that does make me wonder if perhaps Tommy here once performed under the name Jenny. But cheeky music references aside, yeah, looking at this stat line, I think we've got a pretty solid potential hybrid thrower here. The 2 stars in range are slightly awkward, but I think between that and the already godlike melee, we should easily be able to land within the 80 to 90 range for both combat skills. The real question, I think, will be if we can shore up those secondaries, which are a bit on the low side, especially since throwers, let alone hybrid throwers, are naturally perk-hungry builds, so we'll have to skip some of the ones we might normally grab, like Colossus or Mental Fortitude, which would help shore them up. 50 health isn't too bad. Fatigue's okay. I mean, we can work with that. That 28 resolve, though, that is rough. But, you know, we'll work on it. Just got to keep him alive. And then, as for Annie, you know, I gave this some thought, too. And I think pretty much no matter what direction we end up taking them in, we are sticking with the flail. That's kind of become their thing at this point. The only real question being, will they go flail and shield, flail duelist, or two-hander, all of which would benefit from flail mastery, so there's really no reason for us not to go ahead and bank that now. Just focus on gaining experience for the next level or two. Especially since whatever we do with her, level 7 is already spoken for. That is our nimble level for pretty much everyone across the board. Since I obviously haven't really leaned Battleforged with anyone just yet. That'll likely be reserved for really high-end recruits, hedge knights and the like. Which we will pick up eventually, but we're not quite there just yet. That said, let's get back to it. We've got 2 new recruits in dire need of XP. Shredded tents, baskets unwoven, clothes rolling across the sands. And in the middle of it all sits a man in a black cloak, his ghastly face peering from its hooded shade. "You are both late, and right on time," he says, and gets to his feet. The tarps rustle, the baskets tilt, and the clothes jerk aside, the land riffling with liveliness. Suddenly, the sand slips into cavernous channels, and inimical nomads empty from the earth, climbing out, some leaping forth as if to revivify themselves on fresh air, others tilting upward from heel to toe, bodies straight like flagpoles. They move unnervingly, stilted and tilted, and the man in black grins behind their shambling formation. He is no ordinary blackguard, but a necromancer. Oh wow, I'm not sure I've seen this one before. Which is both cool, but also more than a little concerning, because if we'd known we were going up against undead, we would have we would have packed accordingly. Also, maybe wouldn't have brought 2 newbies, but... Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, interesting. Apparently in his haste to grandstand are... Alright, well, I mean, first of all, I'm going to note that I do see several dangerous weapons here. And an alarming number of shields. However, our very bold necromancer seems to have decided to start up front. So we might be able to end this quick. Come on, Bowman. You got this. Ah. Nice hit. Bowman looses a shot, interrupting the vainglorious necromancer mid-monologue. The arrow sinks deep between his ribs, missing his lung by a finger's breadth. He draws in a ragged breath, and with a jerky, stilted motion, ushers his undead horde forth. Alright, we are outnumbered here, so Necromancer is priority number 1. Otherwise, we're just going to end up getting attritioned to death. We don't have any other ranged weapons that can reach him, which is unfortunate. So we're just going to have to get extra aggressive here. We'll push up hard and fast, straight for him. He'll have at least 2 step up to block. But if we can carve through them, we can take him down by turn 2, 3. Then, Spearmen on either end to ward off the reinforcements. Wall placement actually works in our favor. They can only really come through the south side. North side, they'll start blocking each other off. Then have to go around the long way, either north or south. That'll be like 2, 3 full turns. Yeah, and then we'll kind of curve our line down here, try to create sort of a trap for them to walk into, while simultaneously protecting some of our weaker members. You know, exposing them to less attacks while still allowing them to contribute. Sweetie, what's the problem? Why are you meow meow meowing over there? Oh, no, you can't go outside right now. That's just Layla. It's starting to warm up again, so they want to go out in the balcony more often. Which I usually indulge them with, but not while I'm mid-recording. Yes, I hear you. It's very sad. Just hang tight, baby. It's like 15, 20 minutes. Maybe less if things go south. The undead horde clashes with the raiders' lines. Unable to draw a clean shot, Arrow holds his fire. And the rest of the raiders set to their grim work. Oh boy, that's not good. Hang in there, Rassel. Oh, thank goodness. Thunderous blows drive into the raiders' shields, impacting with unnatural force. But the raiders stand strong. The raiders begin hacking away at their undead foes. Spears set on either end of their formation, trying to buy them some precious time to reach the one target that truly matters. Blade slash and bludgeons club. The leathery cadavers staggering and stumbling, but still they stand. Until finally, Cetrus cuts one down. Its heavy mallet thumping dully into the sand. Verlin decides not to overextend. Spear set, random at his side. Oh, shoot. And on the north, the horde almost instantaneously breaks through. Eerie, swiftly overwhelmed as they flood around him. Blows begin to land by sheer volume, if nothing else. Chain links torn and tattered, flesh bruised beneath, but as of yet, no serious wounds. Verlin, thankfully, has much better luck than Eerie. His spear held steady as he wards back foe after foe. Random, finding himself unassailed, considers his options. Move north to aid Eerie, or help hold the south. Verlin gives him a nod, and Random finally spurs into motion, pushing past Tommy and moving to Revenant's side. On the north, the raiders continue their assault, with McLeod finally putting down the first of the Necromancer's guard. The raiders set their sights on the other. Arrow adjusting his position, but still unable to find a good line of sight. Annie, however, quickly steps up. She catches the caster in the side of the neck. A sickly crack, and he drops like a puppet with cut strings. And the raiders hack away. His undead horde falters as they lose the malevolent will that once guided them. But then, their dull eyes set on the raiders once more. Cetrus drops one near the center. Yet more pour over the south, trying to find their way past Verlin's spear. More swarm in on the north. Oh, goodness. Eerie staggers, finding himself steadily overwhelmed by the continuously encroaching horde. One breaks off from the rest of the pack, driven more by perhaps coincidence or simple lack of space, as it begins circling, massive mallet in hand, eyes locking on the bone-helmed bowman. Arrow whirls, 2 arrows neatly placed in the approaching zombie's chest. On the front line, some of the fallen begin to stumble back to their feet. But the raiders continue putting them back down, hacking away even as they fall. It's not enough to simply fell these foes. They must be dismembered as well. Life does not leave these cursed cadavers easily. But loss of limb will still hamper them, where loss of life did not. Drakiith fells another. Verlin continues holding the south. My goodness. Cetrus fells a hammerer. Verlin grows weary, but still yet holds. He's got about one more round in him. Wrestle holds as well, waiting for foes to approach. Verlin, my man. Man, if only Eerie had managed that. Just a fluke of the RNG. Dude's got 72 melee. He really should have held longer. Tommy clears the back line. McLeod drops another. A decent first showing for the company's two newest members. Arrow fires two more shots. One clipping a target's spine and dropping it to the ground. The fight on the north continues. And Verlin finally impales one of the advancing foes, tearing it up so badly it ceases to move. He shakes his spear, kicking the corpse free. A brief hindrance, but that's all it takes for the corpses to finally push past his guard. Exhausted, Verlin takes a moment to catch his breath. Cetrus is likewise exhausted, finding himself in a more and more precarious position. And sensing this, McLeod finally, reluctantly, lets Warrior slip his leash. Also, immediately took down one of those zombos. Good boy. The Raiders fight on. They've almost won this, they just need to hold out a little longer. Eerie drops one on the north. Arrow puts one back down as well. And Annie, who then steps up to better support Random and Eerie. McLeod begins maneuvering to the south. Oh, God. Exhaustion finally getting the better of him. Eerie's guard drops at just the wrong moment. A clumsily swung blade bites deep. Then he drops without a sound. The rest of the Raiders grimly note the loss and hope for the best, but their own situations are not much better. They continue to flail and hack away. Eerie may yet live, but that won't matter if they can't bring this fight to a swift end. Verlin drops a hammer on the south. Arrow switches off to his second quiver, laying down suppressive fire. McLeod drops another, pinning it to the earth with the tines of his warfork. Annie batters one down on the north. One tries to push through their line on the south. But Rassel quickly beats it down. Cetris, exhausted and bleeding, tries to catch his breath. The Raiders fight on. Tommy spots one rising, pinning it back down with his pitchfork. And Verlin finally clears the south. The Raiders wearily rally. McLeod's dropping one on center. And only 2 yet remain. Cetris wards off yet another blow, then desperately drives the cleaver-wielding cadaver back. Rassel quickly steps up, filling the space and buying the caravan guard some time. Warrior charges in, eagerly rallying to Rassel's side. Two more corpses rise. But at this point... Oh, shit. Sorry. An arrow goes wide, clipping off of Annie's helm. Arrow shouts an apology, then plants one into the actual target he was aiming for, dropping it back to the earth. Despite the brief distraction, Annie still fells her foe. And Cetris hacks into another corpse as it begins to rise, splaying it to the sand, before quickly stumbling back to a safer distance. And just like that, the fight finally comes to an end. The necromancer lay dead, eerie wounded. The sand strewn with bodies. Most long dead, but only recently truly put to rest. One still yet stands, but as the raiders swiftly surround it, it finally falls. Oh, cleavers definitely would have made this easier. Well, maybe, because if I'd gone full cleaver, we wouldn't have brought the spears. Ah, finally. Thank you. Warrior. Good boy. And man, broken knee. Oh, goodness, that is a career ender. Gosh darn it. We just gave him that potion, too. And a win in the arena. Alright, Eerie. You know what? I guess it's still better than dying. At least we get to preserve your gear, and potentially get a chance to work you back into the narrative as one of our other hires. I'm not sure who, though. Surgeon? Alchemist, perhaps? Also, we can get a replacement potion. We just have to, once we've officially retired Eerie, it'll be added back to the Ancient Dead drop pool. The only ones you can lose permanently are the ones from unique bosses, like the Ijirok or the Kraken. Alright, well, sucks to lose a raider, but them's the breaks. I will say, though, there is a small part of me that really kind of wanted him to die and come back as a zombie just so we could kind of round out his little mini arc. But I suppose this at least gives him a slightly happier ending, because now he can just retire quietly and study the side effects of that strange brew at his leisure. We've also got multiple level ups, but let's sit on that for the moment. We'll just head back to Hikma, collect our pay. We've got a lot of bookkeeping to take care of. A servant heads you off for meeting Musa al-Rundi, the Vizier of War. He hands you a scroll as well as a satchel. Despite having already handed you the paper, the servant puts his hands behind his back and looks at the ceiling as he recites. The crownling is rewarded crowns as per prior arrangements. Having taken his reward, he is dismissed from the property post-haste. The servant looks down at you and nods. Leave. Yeah, fair enough. I did say I was going to stab your boss in the face, so, I mean, probably the best way to avoid it. And that is a Freet. We really don't want to mess with them, though a 1 skull might be manageable. Those guys are a pain. Quite possibly the most obnoxious enemies to fight in the game, I think. But we'll worry about that next time. For now, we have a number of other things to take care of, most of which I'll probably handle off screen. I need to scout new potential hires. We need to figure who's going to take Erie's place as our dedicated north flank shieldmen. I would like to at least tag in a peddler. They're not great combatants, but in theory they at least have good non-combat utility. Local prices are still on the high end, but we might be able to sell a few things, round up a bit more gold, cover both a hire and leave enough left over to reasonably pick up a blacksmith. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I will take care of our inventory management, scout recruits, retire Erie, sorry bud, and figure out how we're filling that gap. I'll also take a peek at those level ups, but we will actually do those on screen. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Erie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.